I think success in the long run will be a willingness of countries to recognise, even in a time of COVID, that everyone must be included and everybody has rights to a safe life. Access to schools, access to healthcare, access to the right to work, all of these rights, I think when they're available and accessible to people, then I think we'd have success, but we're a long way from that, I'm afraid. So I think that one of the things that we would see as really important for the future is using technologies to get education across to people who are going to fall behind.
World Creativity and Innovation Week. A week where we celebrate the creativity that makes the world a better place every day. Everything around us is a result of creativity and learning. This has become the true wealth of nations in the 21st century. As of now, 81 countries proudly participate in World Creativity and Innovation Week. We're calling on students, participants, mentors, and professionals to contribute to such an important event with a direct impact on the world. The Hackmakers team presents to you the World Innovation Day Hack 2021, running between the 16th of April to the 19th of April. This hackathon is run in collaboration with UNESCO and the United Nations Environmental Programme. It is supported by our lead sponsor, Oracle. We have decided to focus on 3 key challenges derived from the UN's list of World Development Goals. Challenge Area 1, Health and Well-being. While progress in this area is strong, it still needs acceleration, especially since the impacts of COVID-19 have reversed decades of improvement in healthcare systems. Tuberculosis, child health, maternal health, HIV and immunizations are some highlights to think about. Challenge Area 2, Quality Education. 200 million children are expected to be out of school by 2030. Our recent shift to remote learning due to COVID-19 is something that's still inaccessible for over 500 million students worldwide. How can we make education inclusive and accessible for everyone? Challenge Area 3, Decent Work and Economic Growth. Global economic growth has slowed down by 25% in 2019, and this was before the pandemic. As of 2021, there are approximately 400 million displaced workers, and we face the worst depression the world has seen since the Great Depression. How can we come up with innovative solutions to help these people in need? By participating in this hackathon, you could help make a significant difference to the world we all live in today. Let's innovate and create for a better tomorrow.
Hi, it's Dan from Hackmakers. Thank you everyone for joining us for the opening ceremony of this momentous occasion and for participating in Hackmakers' very first hackathon in collaboration with UNESCO and the United Nations Environment Programme, the World Innovation Day 2021 Global Hackathon. On behalf of our team at Hackmakers, I would like to express my appreciation to our lead sponsor Oracle and look forward to sharing the positive experiences and learning with all participants and mentors as we embark on this weekend in celebration of world creativity and innovation. This is the first biannual global event centered around the application of community technology and innovation to address global challenges. This year's challenges are themed around 3 very important UN Sustainable Development Goals: health and well-being, quality education, and decent work and economic growth. We have over 2,500 registered participants and 200 mentors, all from over 70 countries and 20 plus time zones working together to produce meaningful solutions. We have a lineup of amazing speeches which will finish off with our chairman, Steve Nouri, who will announce the challenge statements and supplementary documents. Before we hear from them, I would like to quickly thank our generous sponsors, Minderoo Foundation, ITIC Systems, Slack, Train Technologies, INE, NVIDIA, Telstra, NASCOM Foundation, and Accenture. Without further ado, please welcome David Thodey. David Thodey is Chair of the Commonwealth Science, Industry and Research Organisation, the National Research Organisation for Australia, XERO and Tyro Payments. He is also a Director of Ramsay Healthcare and Vodafone International Group UK.
Hello everyone, my name is David Thodey and among other things I'm the Chairman of CSIRO, that's Australia's National Science Agency. So I should start by saying Happy World Innovation Day. It's really great that you're participating in this really exciting hackathon. Now, CSIRO aspires to be Australia's innovation catalyst, but you have this great privilege today to be the innovation catalyst for the whole world, which is really awesome. So congratulations. Now, you have some really complex problems to hack, but I thought I'd talk to you about one of the UN development goals, this one, decent work and economic growth, but it needs to be achieved in a sustainable and inclusive way. So what I thought I'd do is base my comments on some practical ways that we at CSIRO is engaging in these challenges, and I'm just going to talk to three areas. So let's get into it. So the first one is environmental sustainability. Now, as we all know, the world is undergoing a massive shift towards low emissions, and that is so essential for us to be able to compete on a global stage. We can no longer really have economic progress without sustainability. And sustainability can deliver tremendous growth in economic terms, jobs, and new opportunities. So we at CSIRO, we've been working with our partners across Southeast Asia to remove plastic waste from the environment, and our aspiration is to create a zero waste, or what we all term circular economy. Now, this involves breaking this take, make, dispose sort of circle that we've got ourselves into, and it's really a consumption pattern, and changing the way the world makes, uses, and recycles and disposes of plastics. And of course, that relates to each of us in terms of packages as well and what we buy. Now, as you know, the cost of sending plastic, paper, lithium batteries, you name it, into landfill is just billions and billions of dollars. So this is an enormous opportunity to both reduce plastics, but also recycle what we can. So we think this is just an enormous opportunity for sustainable growth and, of course, job creation, which is one of these development goals. Now, the second one is around local economies. So again, together with our partners, we've been looking at the impact of COVID-19 on the Indo-Pacific food systems. Now, as you'd imagine, farming is the main economic driver across the Indo-Pacific. And what we're trying to do is improve production productivity and find ways that can really flow through into the livelihoods of the people in those communities, better nutrition, and also social stability. So we're looking at how we provide farmers and their communities with skills, systems, and technology to develop sustainable and resilient livelihoods and help, obviously, build the local economy so that they can be self-sustaining. That's all around inclusiveness and sustainable growth, and while being really sensitive to the fragile local systems and communities. So local economy is really, really important as we look to create growth and jobs. And then the last one I'll mention is around capability building. Now, we do a lot of work in building capability with all our neighbours, primarily in the Asia-Pacific region, but especially in the Pacific area, which is really equipping these people to have the capability to be self-sustaining. So we work with Pacific nations and R&D, we collaborate with them, and we try to share our scientific expertise in working towards the UN Development Goals. You see, by building capability in our region, the benefits are for the local community, but also for the whole region. And then we can benefit from trade, advancement, prosperity, and all the great things that collaboration brings. So capability building is really important. So what I've done there is just to give you 3 examples of what we do among many that we're involved in. Sustainability, local economies, and capability building. And I'm delighted to say that now it's over to you. You see, what's so exciting is that the world needs your knowledge, your energy, your passion to solve some of these great challenges. And I really hope you have a lot of fun. I wish you all the best and good luck. Goodbye.
Please welcome Vic Pant, Chief Scientist and Chief Science Advisor, Natural Resources Canada. Vic is the Chief Scientist and Chief Science Advisor at Natural Resources Canada. He founded the Synthetic Intelligence Forum. His research areas are conceptual modelling and applied artificial intelligence.
Hi everybody, welcome to World Innovation Day Hackathon 2021. My name is Vic, and on behalf of Natural Resources Canada, it's my pleasure to welcome you to this amazing event. I'd like to start by thanking United Nations Environmental Programme, UNESCO, Hackmakers, Oracle, all the partners and sponsors that have come together to help us convene this amazing event. We are living in unprecedented times during this global pandemic. COVID-19 has brought untold hardships and challenges to our fellow peoples all around the world. It has impacted our economy, our communities, and the environment. This is why it's so important for all of us as global citizens to come together and to support important initiatives such as the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Remember, no contribution is too small and no help gets wasted. Therefore, I commend all of you for rallying together, for coming together in this World Innovation Day Hackathon to move forward in advancing the mission of the United Nations SDGs. To maximize our impact, we must innovate new types of solutions. And while these new types of solutions will leverage the latest advances in available technology, we also have to think about novel ways of partnering, interesting ways of collaborating. And it's only when we take the technology, put it together with new forms of coming together to join forces, will we truly be able to amplify and magnify the value of our contributions as a collective. We must be bold, we must be resilient, and we must be creative in the types of solutions that we develop to address the types of big problems that are solved by the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. I'm happy to share some insights about the impactful work that we're doing in Natural Resources Canada in the fight against global climate change, as well as our commitment to reaching net zero by 2050. In Natural Resources Canada, we operate a digital accelerator, which is a launchpad for piloting technology-driven solutions to complex problems. In our digital accelerator, we bring the latest technological advances in fields such as artificial intelligence and data science to bear on these complicated problems that we are dealing with, but we do so in close concert with our partners and our collaborators that are thought-leading individuals and organizations from across Canada. In our digital accelerator, our data scientists work closely with subject matter experts, such as domain scientists, as well as policy leaders, to build data-centric solutions related to power from renewable sources, energy efficiency, and reduction of greenhouse gases. And our experience has shown us that it is possible to take innovative prototypes, small proofs of concept, small pilots, and scale them into bigger systems that can truly have meaningful impact on a larger basis. As you immerse yourselves in the challenging questions posed in this hackathon and work to develop insightful answers to those questions, remember to fail fast, experiment extensively, and challenge your hypotheses. Enjoy this event.
Please welcome Laetitia Cailleteau, Managing Director Data and AI Europe Lead, Global Lead for Conversational AI, Accenture. She has 20 years experience in consulting at the C-suite level for Fortune 500 companies.
Hi everybody, I'm Laetitia Cailleteau. I do work for Accenture. I'm the global lead for conversational AI and the data and AI lead for Europe. I'm very excited to be here today with you at this hackathon. I'm also an inventor. I have a couple of patents in the domain of AI, actually applied to personalization of healthcare. This is a very big topic, health and well-being for all at all age, and probably one of the biggest challenge on the planet. I'm absolutely delighted to speak with you before you actually start on this innovation journey. This is once in a lifetime opportunity. The post-COVID era has really accelerated a lot of technology and really kind of prompted a number of the leaders to rethink, the way the world work and live. I think we really have an opportunity here as innovator to go and challenge the status quo and create a better world. So on this United Nations Sustainable Challenge number 3, I wanted to share 4 key thoughts before giving you an example. My first thought is, health and well-being, especially bundled together, is super broad. From the point where life is created to the point we die, there's obviously a very long spectrum of things that can happen. There's also, different abilities from a mental perspective, different abilities from a physical perspective, and obviously different environment in which we're growing into. When you add the country lens to that and the regulatory lens to that, the spectrum is actually quite mind-blowing. So one of the key things I think will be really important to really have something that stick and really have an impact is really be very specific on what you're solving for and who you're solving for. The second point I wanted to bring to your attention is the fact that obviously care is not accessible to all at this particular point in time. It's a non-controversial point in the sense that it's acknowledged by everybody around the globe. And when you think about accessibility, the reason why care is not accessible is very often infrastructure bounded. And by infrastructure, I mean doctors, access to specialist nurses, but also access to equipment, hospital, and some of the care around it. And because of this kind of infrastructure, different country can offer different services. And even if you're lucky enough to have this infrastructure close by, ultimately you may not be able to afford it. And I think the reason why I'm bringing this accessibility points forward is because I really do believe technology has a role to play in democratizing access to care. Just to give you an example, during the COVID time, a number of innovators have been, proposing app around mental health or even around COVID, around the symptom, to kind of help people, with that basic tech to actually understand what to do and what not to do. And I think really ultimately as, we embrace health and mental health for all at all age, technology has a huge role to play into the accessibility of care. The third point I wanted to bring up is the fact that at the moment, health is pretty much a reactive thing when you think about it. Typically you would have a problem, a symptom, you would actually go and see a specialist, and the specialist will ask you a few questions, maybe with a bit of luck would have some kind of history on your case, and then, propose you a way forward. But that's a very punctual kind of moment where, an individual make a snap assessment and actually brushing through your history. And when you think at the amount of data we can have on people's health, obviously being very conscious that, people need to consent and we need to be very careful about privacy. But when I look at some of my app and the amount of data they hold on me around, how much I'm working every day, or if I have a Fitbit, what's my heartbeat, and, what are my patterns on, what's a healthy pattern or not. And I think, ultimately, all that data should enable us, with time to become, proactive at, anticipating challenges before they come. And instead of fixing symptoms, with a one-size-fits-all treatment, anticipate this and actually give the proper personalized care to people. So I think this is one ambition that technology, data, IoT all together can really help drive forward in the fourth industrial revolution. And the last point I wanted us to think about together is the fact that actually we're entering, society of knowledge. And there is knowledge, being generated in a number of spaces around health and well-being and mental health, that being some of the academics, some being some of the practitioners and hospitals, some of the farmers around there, some of the professional and corporate. You have so much data about, new research coming available, things that work or work less in particular scenarios. But there's no universal way to actually be able to equip the professional with the latest and greatest in a snapshot. We're still very dependent in, an hospital having their visit with a pharmaceutical company to show the latest drugs and how they apply, or people to read up some of the academic things. So ultimately, the fourth point is about accessibility of knowledge, making this knowledge accessible to all, so we can provide it, to the professional as they go on. So those were the key things. I wanted to finish by speak to you about an example that I've been driving personally for the last 4 or 5 years now, which we call home care. And the reason why we created this particular service together with Age UK, with Hanover Housing Association, Afford Housing Association, and the Welsh government is we've been thinking about providing care at home for the older generation to stay connected. And we started that, long before COVID happened. And we already realized that, the older generation doesn't necessarily have access to a number of digital services that are out there, not necessarily directly linked to their health, but contributing to their well-being, like, connecting to go to event, not being socially isolated is a very important factor for the older generation to kind of grow older, and healthier. And we started to roll out the solution using conversational AI, voice AI. We had equipped people with Fitbit, and we encouraged them to actually go for a walk, connect with other people, and entertain and keep their mind busy. But we could also monitor if they were eating well and all of that kind of thing. And the impact we had, during the last few years on some of our trial users has been quite mind-blowing. Some of them said we changed their life. They were coming back from hospital and they wouldn't have been able to communicate with the world, unless they had, a voice assistant out there to be able to converse or, give them easy access. So there is plenty that can be done. I'm very hopeful that you're going to change the world. I can't wait to see what you're coming up with.
Please welcome Keith Strier. Keith is the VP of Worldwide AI Initiatives at NVIDIA. He is also the chair of the AI Compute Task Force at OECD. His expertise lies in technology, government, and leadership.
Hi, my name is Keith Strier. I am Vice President of Worldwide AI Initiatives at NVIDIA. We are absolutely delighted to be participating in this event as part of the broader UN World Innovation and Creativity Day. The very idea of this event synchronizes with our values, our corporate purpose, and our passions to solve the world's most complex problems. When Steve reached out and told me that developers, government officials, and companies were being convened to solve global problems related to the UN Development Goals, I'm pretty sure I replied, sign us up, within 5 seconds. I'll use the next few minutes to share a little more about how NVIDIA thinks about innovation and how we're specifically helping nations make progress against the UN SDGs in areas like education and the economy. If you know anything about NVIDIA, then you know that we invented the modern era of graphics and gaming, which expanded over time to transform high-performance computing, artificial intelligence, and autonomous machines. At our core, we're an engineering-led company. We bring to the market some of the most advanced technologies ever made. I mean, consider this. The first mass-produced transistor radio, a pocket radio, was the TR-63. This was sold by Sony in 1957. It actually sold 7 million units, a commercial blockbuster at the time. It was powered by, wait for it, 6 transistors. That's bleeding edge architecture for 1957, okay? Now, 63 years later, in 2020, NVIDIA rolled out our A100 GPU AI chip. It has, wait for it again, 54 billion, that's billion transistors on a single 7 nanometer chip that can perform 5 quadrillion calculations per second. These numbers are mind-bending. But also keep in mind, technology is only one component of innovation and only one dimension of NVIDIA's full stack innovation model. Creating innovation through AI requires more than just engineering. So we integrate our chips into platforms. We bundle those platforms with great software, and we wrap that entire stack with a rich ecosystem of partners. Together, this end-to-end platform and ecosystem advances every field of science and every sector of the economy. And increasingly, it helps nations in every hemisphere to achieve policy goals around sustainability, urban renewal, public health, and economic growth. For example, when it comes to UN SDG number 4, which focuses on quality education, you'd expect that we equip the world's leading academic institutions. But we also offer the Jetson Nano Development Kit, the world's ultimate starter AI computer. This costs only $59. There's no margin, just the cost of parts, and comes with a free certification program and open source curriculum for secondary and post-secondary students. The Jetson Nano program is helping countries to unlock the potential for the next generation of AI leaders and developers. Another UN SDG, number 8, focuses on economic growth. One of our most successful corporate initiatives is our Global Inception program. This is our AI accelerator. It today helps over 7,000 AI startups worldwide. And these aren't just in the big capitals like New York and London and Tokyo. We partner with nations everywhere to grow their local AI systems, supporting startups from Cairo to Belgrade to Bangkok. Our goal is not just to help entrepreneurs, not just to help them build AI models, but to help them give young people the opportunity to realize their full potential in their native country, leveling the playing field and helping all nations to become AI nations. Ultimately, NVIDIA is full-scale committed to corporate and social responsibility, but we are driven by much more than just a CSR pledge. We agree that AI has the potential to accelerate progress towards a dignified life in peace and prosperity for all people. We aspire to do our part in advancing that narrative. As you hack away over the next few days, you're doing your part. Keep our full stack innovation model in mind as a framework. Think about solving complex problems. Harness the full potential of AI, but think beyond that. Think about the layers of value needed to convert your ideas into an applied solution that scales beyond the hackathon. You know, an event like this one is such an amazing and timely opportunity to pay it forward. And we just want to say, well done, job well done for taking it on. And from everyone at NVIDIA, we want to wish you the best of luck.
Please welcome Christopher Chelliah, Senior Vice President, Oracle JAPAC. Christopher is the Senior Vice President, Strategy, Business Development and Insight, Japan and Asia Pacific at Oracle Corporation Asia Pacific. He is a techpreneur and can convert emerging technology innovation areas into a ramped up growth startup revenue stream with cross-geography teams.
Hi, I'm Chris from Oracle. You know, nearly 60 years ago, John F. Kennedy said, "We choose to go to the moon and do other things, not because they're easy, but because they're hard. It gives us a focal point in which to deploy the best of our energies and our skills." I'm quoting JFK because I think we have a similar moonshot opportunity for driving change around the sustainable future of our planet. Now, we've had over 18 months of incredible disruption, which is turning around a corner, but not yet finished. Some of this change has been really painful, but some of it has been hugely positive. We've seen vaccines developed in record times, not by skipping corners, but by driving research and collaboration streams in parallel and using data and machine learning in the cloud like never before. Now, we've seen the world pivot to remote everything, remote working, remote learning, remote shopping, remote healthcare, adopting digital technologies everywhere. And we see that continuing even as we transition back to open businesses and schools and lifestyles. But even at this pace, Asia Pacific is tracking to achieve just 10% of the Sustainable Development Goal targets, mainly because most of the targets cannot be measured in this region due to lack of data. Now, why does data matter? Because without data, we cannot see where the greatest needs are, or measure success, or deliver action and direct policy and investment to drive sustainable change. Now, here at Oracle, data is in our DNA. We've spent 44 years helping organizations see data in new ways to discover insights and unlock possibilities. And we're placing this entire stable of digital tools and cloud technologies at the hackathon's disposal. Being on the Oracle Cloud means that everyone gets access to the rich data processing and machine learning tools, whether you're a student, a corporate developer, or a business analyst in the public sector. You can get creative with the ideas, knowing that there's a secure data management platform at the end of a browser or API that will bring it alive. Now, we're honored to be a part of the #World Innovation Day hack to solve some of these challenges, because we know hackathons like this bring enormous value, not just personal learning and growth, but deep and rapid exploration of problems from many different viewpoints. So I want to thank you, all of you as participants, as well as the mentors and other sponsors and the partners for the enormous contribution and commitment over this weekend. And of course, to the Hackmakers team on putting on what I'm sure will be another exceptionally well-run hackathon. You have the whole weekend ahead of you, and I wish you the best of luck.
Please welcome Kumar Parakal. Kumar is president at GHD Digital. In 2016, he was named 2016 Digital Disruptors International Professional of the Year. He has held global leadership roles at his previous firm, KPMG.
Hi, I'm Kumar Parakal, President of GHD Digital. I'm very pleased to be part of this World Innovation Hackathon to celebrate World Creativity and Innovation Day. Hackathons are a fantastic way to foster problem solving and source new ideas. I'm particularly looking forward to your innovative suggestions to challenge 3: decent work and economic growth. This is an area my colleagues and I at GHD Digital are very passionate about, finding new ways of thinking, working, and doing to deliver a better future for our clients and communities. We all know that COVID-19 turned the world upside down. The future we had imagined was radically transformed. And today, we are still facing economic uncertainty, with many industries continuing to navigate unprecedented challenges. The lack of face-to-face interactions and workplace closures have led us to embrace a new way of working. We have seen a significant rise in digital transformation across organizations, industries, and regions. There has also been greater collaboration and cross-pollination of expertise. This will remain a priority for the foreseeable future. Embracing an innovative mindset and remaining agile will be crucial as we navigate our way to a COVID normal future. Remember, today's problems cannot be solved with yesterday's thinking. So get creative, explore new ways of thinking, and who knows, you may discover the next big thing. Thank you and good luck.
Please welcome Steve Nouri, Head of Data Science and AI, ACS. Steve Nouri is a data science leader who has evolved the way people look at AI and innovation. He is an entrepreneur, author, academic, and technical manager by profession.
Hi, Steve Nouri here. I would like to start by thanking all of you, the participants, judges, mentors, sponsors, and partners who have supported the UN World Innovation Day Hackathon in collaboration with UNESCO and United Nations Environment Programme. This is not just the hackathon. It's a collaborative festival of events, started a week ago by more than 10 workshops. After this opening ceremony, we will start 72 hours of hacking. It will be followed by 3 awesome panel discussions, and we will finally finish it off by a closing ceremony. The obvious outcome of this event will be the public awareness. We all will think about the problems very deeply to solve them, and we will learn more about it. But also, we would love our participants to tackle the problems that we are all facing together using the cutting-edge technologies like artificial intelligence and machine learning, with the data sets that will be available to them, and also leveraging the cloud platforms and the computing powers that is available. And the secret sauce is the power of the crowd, diversity and inclusion. Humans are the only species that are capable of innovating collaboratively and collectively and pass it on to the others. I'm honored to announce that we have more than 4,000 people involved in this program of the work from more than 50 countries. And that's the ingredients for success. Last but not least, I would like to thank the Hackmakers organizing team that are working behind the scene. And you might not have seen them, but they are available on the Slack channels and they're working tirelessly for the last couple of weeks to make this happen. Finally, our surprise. What a better way to finish the opening ceremony by music. Let's all listen to this pop icon, a rising star from Nigeria, singer-songwriter Dani Sings.
Hello everyone, I'm Dani Sings from Nigeria, and I just want to say Happy United Nations World Innovation Day.
Distance, playing in the rain, sweet sound of water blowing away. Construction workers coming home from work, the parents and their children going to child. Happy little baby draws on your shirt. One extraordinary day. Let us have a world of ordinary people living life the way God wants us to. And if we have a world of ordinary people, extraordinary things will happen to me and you. Ooh, me and you. Ordinary Abraham, he was just a man, but you can listen for the price of the lamb. Let us consider ordinary Joe, who lost it all, but in God had his own. Ordinary David, the little shepherd boy, dropped than Goliath with a stone at a time. Sweet little Jesus, ordinary child, the carpenter's first son, humble and mine. If anybody told you he'll be Messiah, you probably will laugh it off, I know. So let us have a world of ordinary people living life the way God wants us to. And if we have a world of ordinary people, extraordinary things will happen to me and you. Let us have a world of ordinary people living life the way God wants us to. And if we have a world of ordinary people,
We hope you have been inspired by some of the amazing speakers we have just heard from. Thank you again to our participants, mentors and lead mentors. You are the hackers and makers that make this organisation tick. Over the coming days will be a weekend of white-knuckle hacking, learning and uniting as we come together to solve global challenges. Finally, our sincere thanks to all our community partners, the City of Logan, GHD Digital, the University of Queensland, University of Sydney Incubate, La Trobe University, RMIT University, Queensland University of Technology, QUT Bands, Lights and Data, Monash University CCA, Amity University, Ribbit, Spotlit AI, UncrowdMe, Yirega, Influencer Active, Data with Danny, Car Sales, Doi Tan University, Amity Future Academy, Dave on Data, and Data Science Infinity for supporting this global event.